here is an RCA. Don't know the model yet. It's got knobs here, 3 knobs, one's missing. Probably get that replaced. Solid wood cabinet, not a veneer. This is damaged here. That's, I don't know what I'm going to do, put some stain in it. 6 tubes. Missing the back. That's okay. Kind of a heavy radio, probably because of the solid cabinet. Nothing special, but you know, another fun little project. So we've got the chassis of the RCA. Sorry if I sound out of breath. I was actually just putting away some decorations and putting up some fall things. A little bit late, but better late than never. If you ever want to know how to fix a speaker, this is how you don't do it. Actually, probably would sound okay. Yeah, it's probably fine. Someone connected a wire for an external speaker, which probably means the internal one doesn't work. That's great. We're going to check that. Let's take a look at the chassis underneath. We've got original capacitors except for the electrolytic, which is probably dead. Time to change some electrolytics. There's only 2 in here. This is a really simple radio. 6 tubes, but RCA must have gotten a good deal on some tubes because they have a separate detector and oscillator, I believe, is what this uses. So it's non-RF section. It's probably adequate, but it's not going to be wonderful. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to check to see. This is the negative of the filter. So that goes to B-. So I'm going to find another point and see if I can just stick these capacitors over here. You know, what you don't want to do is just have them flopping around. A lot of people like to cut these wires and just have them flop around it. It's really not the best way to do it. So the capacitor here tells you what the values are. These are the original values, 50 and 30. Red is 50, blue is 30. So I have 2 options here. Since I have this nice screw that goes right into the chassis, I could put a terminal strip there and just connect the wires. Okay, went ahead and I replaced these 2 electrolytics. Someone had stuck in this guy. So 16 at 150. Pretty old. Very old, actually. So obviously that, yeah, that's very old. Positive, yeah. That's probably from the 50s. 40s maybe. Maybe even, yeah, probably 40s. So my guess that was an initial repair. And then later on someone came in and replaced the electrolytics. So we did that. That's per the schematic. That should be okay. Now let's look at some of these other capacitors. You'll notice 800 volts on some of these, which is unnecessary. What that's for is it's for voltage spikes in the audio section. I'm not too concerned about a little 5-tube radio like this. I just throw in whatever I have and it'll work fine. But some of the transformer sets, there are spikes that will actually cause issues. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what we've got here and see what needs to be changed before I power it up. Okay, I went ahead and I just changed the capacitors. I don't know, I was getting carried away. There were quite a few of them, but I figured I'd do it. I put a safety cap in from the line to your B- side of the line to chassis. Hopefully it will work. Sometimes they don't like to work with a lower value, but we will find out. Anyway, we're going to plug this in and see what happens. Before we do that, I'm going to clean off this tuning system here. So we've got this little spout, zoom spout oil. We're going to just kind of go in here and just, you know, add a little bit of oil. Maybe not that much. Well, actually, did anything come out? That's not cooperating. There, here, here. Okay. And we'll just see if we can get it to move a little better, which it is. I'm going to put some over here too. Perfect. A little bit on this one. Okay. And then I think we got one more. Oh yeah, down here, which I can't really see very well. Let's see if I can. Yes. Oh yes, that's a little quieter. Then what we'll do is we'll just put a little here. Maybe. Oh, that's way too much. Yes, way too much. In fact, we're gonna have to clean that off. We're at 40 volts. The pilot light lighting up is a good sign. That means the filament string is working. We're at 50 volts, 60 volts. 70. That's great. No reception. I do wonder about these tubes. It's just barely hear anything. All right, time to test some tubes. Okay, so here is the 50L6. It's supposed to be a 35L6, but it's, you know, it's mediocre. Okay, so this is the 12SQ7. There's 3 sections in this one. That section's okay. There's one in here. Weak. Mediocre. Okay, so this is the 12SK7. Shows up as good. And do we even see? Oh yes, I see the filament. Perfect. Good. This is the 12SG7. Tests good. This is the 12J5. Good in that. It's mediocre. Try it again. Yeah, it's okay. 35Z5. Tests good. Okay, I'm trying another 35L6. I want to see if this tests better than the other one did. I'm just going to go to line adjust. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, this tests definitely better, so I'm going to stick this in there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and power this up again. See what happens. All right, so I've been messing with this thing forever, trying to get it to work. So first thing I did was I put a signal through it, and I determined that nothing was going through. There was no audio. It led me to suspect the audio section, but just to be sure, I checked, is the oscillator working? Oscillator is working. So a couple ways you can do this. The first thing I checked was the speaker. Speaker checked okay. Next thing I checked was the audio transformer. Now you can see here this is the secondary here. This goes to the speaker and to ground. And then the primary has 3 leads. You've got one there, one over here, and one over here. Now what I did was I just checked, am I getting continuity between, you know, here, for example, and here. And, well, if my battery doesn't want to, come on, just work for 5 minutes. So 12.3 ohms, that's good, right? Okay, so then I come over here, and we'll just do like that maybe. And then we got over here, because, you know, I don't have my leads, I guess. That's the problem. That's the problem today. Always a new problem. All right. And battery. Okay, hold on. Let's just double check. Nothing. So we have a bad audio transformer. I bet the radio itself probably works. So how do we do this? Well, this transformer has a off-center tap. It should filter out a little more of a hum. I believe that's what it's made for. It also gives a little better bass response. So I'll have to see if I can do something about replacing it with a conventional one. So I've got this transformer here. This is from a little clock radio. There's parts, you know, cabinet's all destroyed. You know, it's a bit smaller, just a little bit smaller than, I know it's hard to measure it, but it is a little smaller than what was in there. The output tube on this set was a 50C5. This is a 50L6. They're fairly comparable. And what's nice about this one is it has that tap. So this here has that tap. It's basically like it's acting like a the resistor in a pi network, where it filters, then there's a resistor, then there's another filter cap. This is using, you know, it's using this transformer, which is also potentially why it failed, because the B plus current is going through the transformer. Anyway, this one tests good. I'm going to try it. There's really no harm. I mean, it may not work. If it doesn't work, I order another one. Okay, we are going to power this on. You can see what happens here.
A political provocateur to 4 months in prison and
yes,
pay a fine of $6,500. But Judge Nichols said that Bannon should not have to serve the sentence while he appealed.
Get a bit of a hum. Yeah.
Spot gold on one. $16.50 for the ounce. And crude West Texas Intermediate now at $85.03 a barrel. WTI up by about 0.6%. Lots of green on the screen. 12 minutes to go, on track for a winning week.
Yeah.
Bloomberg editorial. Jersey bound at the Holland Tunnel, half an hour. Way all across the state. Look, it's going to be a product like everything else, folks. Like whether it's booze, whether it's tobacco, whether it's the baby.
Not quite right. Something's off.
Money is money, no matter what it is. Trying to get weather together right here on WICC. WICC.
Might have it out of phase or something. But at least I know it's working. Alright. Finally getting somewhere with this. I think I'm going to flip around those two leads and see what happens.
Conditions when they got
that sounds pretty good.
But we don't.
Keep it up for other uses.
And the other thing.
Not much hum. We're at full voltage. Right all the way up. I don't know what's going on. Just out of curiosity, let's just see. Can we do a dirty, quick
Which one is most important to you?
We're here. Loaded handgun in his bag. Police say the dean at Middle College School at Medgar Evers stopped.
You could have, and Yankee fans had this offseason, Met fans may have it this offseason, is,
All right,
hey, I
let's
don't want
do
to
a
trade that
real
young
alignment.
prospect. I don't want to trade.
Okay, now that we have sound, it is time to do our alignment. We have our signal generator at 455. It doesn't really matter where the dial is, but I'm going to put it all the way over. Right? Now that's wrong. This needs to go to that little end there, I believe. I might have to mess with that. But I can do the IF, so put that on. Okay. Put it medium. That's good. Volume all the way up. Should be good. And let's peak these IF transformers. Well, that wasn't out or anything. Okay. Actually, let's do that. Then we'll go to the other one. That was pretty close. Another one here. Come on. Okay, and do it again. All right, let us. Oh, yeah. Probably help. Oh, there we go.
So what happens today? It's all
Oh, that's
the news.
pretty good. The interference is because I've got upstairs, there's a heater running. So don't worry about that. Get something pretty strong.
Killed in crashes in 2020 did not have their seatbelts on. Most of their passengers didn't either.
This radio is playing
David
really well.
Wright with the National Road Safety.
Almost no hum, just tiny. Just if you put your ear up next to it.
You're a passenger in a
But-
car. Do you remember that whole
A second. Actually, I do want to keep that on.
for a free Mega Millions or Powerball ticket? Must be 18 or older to play.
So next
If you or
we are
someone
going
you
to
know
look
has
at
a
the
gambling
alignment of the
problem or wants
dial.
help, call-
All right, it's time to align the dial. So I have this set at 1300. Can't see very well, but it's 1.3 over here. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. So I'm going to connect this to the antenna lead if I don't burn myself here or set myself on fire, which is not too likely. There we go. Let's see if we can get anything here. So that is there's our signal, but it needs to be a little further to the left. So I'm going to sit down here and adjust the oscillator, which I hope I can do. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's try this one. Let's try that. No, that would be the wrong direction. Okay. A little further over. That's about right. And then I'm going to reduce the sensitivity of this. And then we'll just peak the antenna. This is the antenna. Maybe. Sometimes it works. Alright, that's good enough. Let's see, what can I do as far as... shut that off. Pretty good. We don't have a sensitivity problem here. So 600 should be right at that mark right there.
Will run, not walk. Traffic and weather together right here on WICC. WICC right now, traffic.
Bridgeport Parkway is maybe a couple of minutes faster, but not by much. 95 further ahead, heavy volume through Milford and West Haven southbound. You got through Long Wharf, over cross southbound congestion going into the West Arc Tunnel. 84 eastbound, 45 minutes through Danbury and Newtown traffic. Report powered by Miss Dallas's shop. And Miss Dallas's shop, Linda and G are waiting for you with smiles, friendship, and canned treats.
So it doesn't want to line.
Shop 16 Higgins Drive off Woodmont Road in Milford. Mitch Krause with WICC traffic.
Clear for tonight, but chilly in the upper 30s, then sunny for tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s. Increasing cloudiness for tomorrow night in the mid 40s, then occasional rain and showers for Sunday in the mid 60s. Rain showers continue for Monday, also in the mid 60s, then mostly cloudy for Tuesday, 65 to 70. Weather every 10 minutes on Connecticut Today.
You listen to WICC for all the latest local news and talk during the week. But when the weekend arrives, you want to let loose. Well, we heard you, and that's why.
Go to the end of the dial. I mean, it's honestly, it's fine. I just want to make sure.
Games on your phone. Powerball is now over 550.
Because that is a station here, and I do like to listen to it. Here's a station up here. There we go. Beautiful. Here's my other hand here.
As you said,
Matchups in the passing game.
Additional restrictions apply. See BoostMobile.com for details.
10-10 wins.
So, I mean, here's the thing with alignment is, they tell you how to do it. They tell you what to do. The instructions say, align the 1300 to here, align 600 to here. Then sometimes you get actually doing it, and it just doesn't want to behave. And it's close, but it's not quite right, or you have to adjust the oscillator a little bit. It's kind of an art as well as a science. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This is an AM radio.
Was able to get out of the grasp of a male black bear a few days ago.
Tone control.
Steroids right in the buttocks. So who gave you the steroids? The MLB All-Star game. That
WOR.
you made the same comment.
The children
I'm not sure what that is.
Circulating that the Center for Disease
800.
Control and
Lawmakers,
No, that would be
there
800.
is a fear that if they 376
That's 850.
Team of specialists collaborating on your care.
880. Not sure what that is. 980 maybe.
With a giant sword
1010.
teeth, one man was injured.
And dominate the way Sauce Gardner has so far.
1100 probably.
Rottenberg, weekday mornings from 5 to 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
No.
Paid for by the Sentinel Group.
Fuller. I think we're taking forthright action to try to
Underlines the
Works okay.
community.
Get back on 1010.
To a total disruption and abandonment of the public safety that we're looking for.
Yeah, not bad. Cabinet cleaned up pretty well. It's very shiny now. I know it's got some damage, but it is shiny. How did I get it this shiny? Well, I used this stuff.
A grim discovery on Staten Island early this morning when a woman's body was found in a storage
One of these. It's a Milwaukee buffer. It's the M12. And you can buy different pads for it, but I use this like lamb's wool or fake lamb's wool. And just put the wax on it and go over it a bunch of times. And I did this about 3 or 4 times, and it's, I think it's perfectly acceptable for being 80 years old.
Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com
And you know it works,
to learn more.
so
Ooma, smart communications for the smarter business.
can't go wrong.